All right, no, we didn't have to go to a double music video today. Didn't have to do it because that is how good I fucking work over here. Yep. We didn't have to go and slow anything down or anything of the sort. We're going full speed ahead. Right over here in some perfectly executed analysis. I do have to speed up this video just slightly though, however. Do have to speed up this video slightly because, well, let's see here. Buffalo Wild Wings, I don't care about any of that. I don't care about the special or any of that stuff. But though it is that, you know, yes, it is true. I did offer to go and help Chad with that. So I think we're about at the spot that we're supposed to be here. Maybe it needs to go back a little bit here because I know that I ended up going and releasing some more text messages that refuted a lot of the things that Chad ended up saying in this segment over here. And I'm telling you, man, I have never in my life seen somebody lie as much as Chad and Electra in my entire life. I have never seen that happen. It is just bizarre. And I hate to tell both of you guys as fans, they're not really fans, okay? These are motherfuckers that know exactly what you are. And, you know, the super chat button is something that really helps out whenever they want to get a dig in. So I think we're at around the spot we need to be. So let's go and see here.
Or hollow. Yeah. That's what I wanted to address. Because, I put a tweet out about it. Of course, Carl has it all wrong. Of what
Now, first of all, I got to say, Carl has it right. And let me go, just to show you my objectivity here. Okay? On this whole thing, Carl doesn't like me too much. Why? Because you guys remember when Stuttering John came back? Stuttering John said, well, there was that guy that was sniping me and all that stuff that caused me to go off the internet and all that. And he goes, oh yeah, the rabbi, we don't like him. Okay? So, you know, I mean, and the thing is that I got to say, objectively, Carl, I didn't like that was said that I wasn't liked. But, you know, I mean, that's fine. And I get it. That was a bonehead move on my part to go and do that. I thought it was funny. My Asperger's at times caused me to do some boneheaded stuff from time to time. Okay? Not very well thought out or anything. And I did that for weeks, okay? So there's no excuse there. I go and look at myself whenever certain things happen. Yeah, that shit is my fault. But the thing that I can say about Carl, unlike Chad, is that Carl goes and puts together an incredibly well put together show. I mean, it's good and structured and all that stuff. And I'm sitting there going, that's more of the shit we need right there. We need some structured shit as opposed to this, let's hit live, see what happens, and read super chats. Okay? So Carl got this, and so did Tukey, got it absolutely correct. Okay? So, Chad, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
Exactly happened. This guy, the guy who's doing this Chris guy, he's just totally clout chasing at this point.
Clout chasing.
Like I said in my DMs,
Clout chasing. Okay. Let's address this. Clout chasing. This all transpired on what? Wednesday, I think it was, of last week. The only time that I talked about this briefly, this whole interaction, and as a matter of fact, two people can tell you, and I'll tell you exactly who they are. No, there was three. Rev Fugly, 2K, and Deadful, who are all dear friends of mine, and Deadful is the one who commissioned me to go and do all the stuff for Chad that I have done. Okay? Chad did not pay me a red cent. Deadful did. However, I told him not to, but Deadful's just a good guy. And he's like, no, man, you're putting in the work. Here you go. And it's like, well, I'm sending it back to you. And let me tell you something. This is something else about Deadful. When I was in between jobs, and I was having a little bit of a hard time one week. He sent me a loan, and I said, I'm going to pay you back. And then I ended up going and sending him a payment and all that stuff like 2 weeks later. And he's like, what the fuck are you doing? And I said, I'm paying you back. I told you I would. And he goes and sends it back, and I ended up texting him back, you motherfucker. You know? He's like, no, dude, I don't ever expect any of this back, ever, from anybody. I'm like, damn it. I felt like I took advantage of my friend at that point. I really did. I felt horrible. But the thing is that I sent these texts out with the screenshots that you guys saw, okay? He showed part of them. He didn't show the whole thing, okay? But I sent it to them, and I said, don't let this get out. And I had to tell Deadful, because if he asked me to go and do something else for Chad, I had to simply say, I can't do it. All right? So when all of that happened, I could have immediately went and put that out before Chad did. I could have done all that before he did. I didn't. I didn't put it out until, and because I told all my friends, I said, don't share this with anybody. Don't tell anybody about this. Keep this a secret. If I was clout chasing, I would have been the first person to go and put those things out. So he puts out part of the text messages, not the full thing there. And so I said, you motherfucker. So I put out the rest of them. He then goes and edits his post and puts the rest of them out, saying, why did he go put it out? Because it's clout chasing and all this stuff. Notice that I got offers to go on several different shows. I didn't. I could have gone live, not on our premium network, Black Label Media. I went live over there doing my regularly scheduled show, Scorched Earth, that has nothing to do with any of this stuff. Okay? That show, we go and we show extreme clips. That's what we do over there. I had maybe 10, 11 minutes at the beginning going and talking about this whole situation. And that is a show that really cannot adequately be clipped and played on YouTube. If I was clout chasing, I would have not have done my obligation to my subscribers over there at Black Label Media. And I could have gone and just done something over here on Rumble and even done a YouTube stream or something to go and gain that clout. I could have accepted those offers to go on this show, that show, and the other. I did not. This is the first time that I'm talking about this on a live stream that is not on Black Label Media. This is the first time. So this whole clout chasing idea, Chad, does not hold any motherfucking water.
I never attacked Haley. Basically, Dr. Chow.
He's going to claim he didn't, but then he says, oh, I compared her to the Nazis. And I'm telling you, man, I got a clip over here that you guys have not seen that really kills one of Chad's arguments here.
Chow, he put out a tweet of a quote that Haley said. I forgot exactly what it said, but it was real cringe. I should have had that pulled up. But then again, this isn't a show. Let's pull it up.
Have you noticed that anybody who is lazy with their content says, well, you know, this is not really a show. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I didn't prepare anything. I didn't have anything set up to actually go and put on something for you guys that is of any value, so it's not a show. I'm sorry, as soon as you hit live and go and do something, if you say it's not a show, you need to be fucking charged for bandwidth. I'm sorry. That's the reality.
And it's just, of course, this is why I'm doing less shows. It's just because
you're doing less shows because you're lazy. That's the reason why you're doing less shows.
People just make shit up, things that didn't happen. And I got to basically come on and say, this is exactly what happened.
Why does that happen so often with you? Why the fuck does that happen so often with you? You know, I used to have a channel that had 400,000 subscribers when I was doing Jewish-style teachings. You know, it was during the early days of YouTube. It was going really well, and then, you know, Idiot Me was going to using copyrighted intros and clips and music videos and all that stuff. I get away with that on Rumble. I get away with that on Black Label Media. But, you know, you can't get away with that, you know, in 2013, I think is when it went down, you know, on YouTube. You can't do that. But I never in my life had to go live and have so many people come against me as you do. I never had to do that on radio or anything of the sort. Maybe, again, just like with Electra, the problem's not everybody else. Maybe that's the issue.
Where did it go? Did I delete it? I might have deleted it because I got sick of getting app mentions. And first of all, it wasn't like a tweet directed to anybody but Dr. Chow. I just replied to his tweet. I didn't tag Haley in it. So that guy had to go through my app mentions to...
I did have to go through your app mentions because it was mentioned to me several times. I got several texts from individuals showing what it was that you tweeted. Okay, so, I mean... So, yes, there's an element of truth there that I did have to go into the app mentions. I had to do that to find the thing that people were screenshotting and sending me so I could see the context of the whole thing. So, again, there's an element of truth, and then you kind of go and twist it a little bit.
To find it. Where is it? Where did I put it? I don't know where it's at. Anyways, basically I was quoting Dr. Chow, his tweet saying... Basically the Get Along gang where they all like come together and shit on the same people so they can make money. And she basically said like-minded individuals coming together or something, exactly how it was. And I said, yeah, basically I referred to her as the Nazis, how they all...
I did not go after her, but I referred to her as the Nazis. How fucking stupid are you? Seriously. How stupid are you?
Came together for Aryan Brotherhood and the Master Race.
By the way, guys, I'm Jewish. Just so you know. Remember I mentioned earlier, did Jewish teachings on radio and early days of YouTube?
So then I wrote, she stinks. And that's all I said, because I was under the assumption she was saying a lot of shit about me because she's having like on Melton and Pat. And I don't watch her show at all.
How many times does this guy go and say, I don't watch their show, but you know what? I have an opinion on certain things, and they are 100%. Chad, I mean, I'm sorry. If you're going to do this, maybe you need to stop lying saying, I don't watch their show, or I didn't see this, or any of that stuff. You're searching this shit out, man. I guarantee you, this is the guy that goes onto YouTube every single day, goes and Googles himself and says, what has been said about me the past week? You know, I have a feeling that he's one of those people. I guarantee it.
I never watch it. So I just assumed she was a part of that pile-on shit, and she denied.
Know what the fuck it is you're talking about before you go. Now, I gotta be honest with you. I don't know what the Get Along gang is. Okay? I have no clue. I've seen the shirt, but I don't know what it is. I don't know the mythos around this. You know, and so I'm going to come out there and say it, so I can't say anything about that.
Denied it. And from there, I said, oh, okay, whatever. My bad. But the guy texts me basically saying, here, let me just pull up the video. Let me pull up the video. This is from Carl's show.
Yeah.
As you guys know, when you gift memberships on this channel.
I don't watch anything, but here's a clip from Carl's show. The claims you're making, Chad, are not holding up, buddy. They're not.
It's to stick it to Kevin. So thank you for that. All right, let's get back to the program. Chad Zumock just can't get out of his own way. He has people volunteer to help him with shit. I don't understand why they do this. I don't know.
Okay, now this is something that Carl doesn't know, so you know I'm going to go and clear that up. Why would I go and do that? Well, because the fact that you're going to see a clip a little bit later that you have not seen that was from 3 years ago. Okay? And this is going to, for a lot of people don't know about this. A lot of people don't know about this. But that's going to be a part of this whole thing. So, you know, I mean, I've I've known Chad for a while. But second of all, David asked me if I would help, or Deadful asked me if I would help with a new intro for Chad. He needed a new intro. And I'm telling you, man, I tense up whenever people ask me to do that because I've seen some amazing stuff that people like Gummy Chainsaw have put out, things like Rudy Baga have put out, and oh man, that stuff, I'm telling you, blows me out of the water. It is incredible what those guys are able to do. I am nowhere near that level. You know, I'm just a guy with a Super Grok account. You know, that's basically it, who knows how to do a little bit of editing in Final Cut Pro. That's where I'm at, okay? But these guys, I'm telling you, they do stuff that fucking blows my mind. They really do. So, you know, I got asked to do it, and I kind of tensed up, and it's like, I will do my best. And I spent 3 days rendering, re-rendering, all this stuff to go and get this intro made for him. So with that intro, I asked Chad what he wanted. And he said, well, I want to go after Carl. I want to go after Melton. I want to go after Ric Flair. And I'm like, motherfucking Ric Flair? What the hell's going on there? You know, he told me the story. He's hanging out in Tampa bars over here and getting drunk and trying to start fights and all that stuff. And I was like, okay, whatever. So he gave me a list of everybody that he needed to kick the crap out of. So what I decided to do is also kind of show that I ended up telling him, don't tell anybody who made this for you. And the reason why I told him is I said, because, you know, there's going to be a lot of people who don't like me. And so, you know, I don't want you to lose subscribers or anything like that. And, you know, when I was a part of the Dabbleverse, that was the reality. There were certain individuals that do not like me. The majority of them kind of like me now. Me and King of All Diffs have this back and forth where he's constantly saying I'm digging tunnels and all that stuff. And it's funny. I always enjoy interacting with King of All Diffs. But there are others out there who are not necessarily fans of mine. And, you know, and that's honest as well, saying, you know, that there's that, but also at the same time that if it's shit, you know, considering that it's a bigger show, that, you know, I don't want to get crap for it. But I decided to really make it really hokey. For instance, him going and riding the shark at the beginning. It's like, okay, some people are going to get the joke here. He's going to think it's amazing and that it makes him look amazing. And I'm doing it in a way to make it show how fucking ridiculous this guy is and give a bit of a hat tip at the same time. You know, and so that's the reason why all these things were done the way they were, with him just going and kicking the ass of all these people in a very ridiculous way. So it's one of those things that feeds his ego, putting a massive crowd into the audience at Side Splitters and all that, you know, going and doing that to feed his ego. Because when you have people like Chad, things like that, they're like, that's fucking awesome. The rest of us are sitting over there going, oh, he's being made fun of here and he doesn't realize it. You know, then the whole scene at the end of him being Batman, you know, the Knight Rider car and all that, you know, it's just one of those things. Was it the Knight Rider car or did I do the Back to the Future car? I did something like that. It's been a little while.
I don't know why they don't think it's going to end this way every time, but they don't. And Chad went to X. This is yesterday. And he writes, hey, Beta Cuck, when you bring this shit into my life, I'm done with.
Now, again, element of truth here. I am not one that considers myself an alpha. Okay, you know, yeah. I mean, my God, man, I'm 5'7", you know, about 170 pounds. I gotta lose about 10 pounds, man. It's all right here. People tell me you're not fat. Oh, dude, it's right here, man. It's right here. I mean, go and take a look at this. Seriously. I mean, come on. Well, it doesn't look that bad, but unless I do that. See, you know, I mean, then we got problems. Then we got problems right there. But, yeah, you know, so, I mean, there could be an argument that I could be a beta. I don't necessarily think I'm a beta, but, you know, I mean, objectively looking at it, people could think that because I'm not a big guy, you know, and all that stuff. But a cuck, I'm sorry, that right there is just not even close. Never been a cuck, never been that kind of guy. You know, but, you know, I mean, you take that element of truth and you turn it into something else. But I understand that beta cuck is kind of one of his things that he just calls everybody. It's a blanket term for him.
with you, not the other way around. And he posts the DMs from this. And the DMs, so basically, this guy who's Christopher.
Have you noticed that when he goes and does this, he's one of those people, all of you guys watching, your parents do this shit. That on their iPhone, they have to go and do it to the big text and all that stuff, that it's like, you got like 2 words on every line. Chad, the guy's got glasses, but he has to fucking do this to his phone. I'm telling you, man, this is not good.
Christopher Black Label Media, at Black Label Media 2026 on YouTube, says, "Hey, man, I need to withdraw from my offer to help with the editing and further production help with your intros and stuff. The reason being is that the attack on Haley was not cool. She's a really sweet lady, and she's good to people. Kevin may have a much bigger show."
See, and that's the big thing with me. I think Haley does an incredible show, but at the same time, I also realize that, it's one of the things that it's not necessarily the quality of the show for me. Sorry, cigarette smoker. That's one of my issues. With the people I hang out with, it's not, a cloud thing. It's like I hang out with good people. That's the main thing. You could have the shittiest show, and I got some friends that have some shitty shows. But the thing is, at the same time, they're good people. And that's huge for me.
But at the same time, he is a flash in the pan who won't be able to keep his audience. And so anyway, I'll get into all of this because he ended up posting the whole thing just because Chad had to post it.
And here's the funny thing is
Yeah, the thing is that the real reason why I posted it again is because Chad did not post the whole thing to begin with. He then went and edited the post and put the rest of it later after I did. After I said Chad didn't show the whole thing. So, here's the full context of everything. That's important.
Him posting the whole thing, he just put in the last thing he said. And then after that, I said, just stop texting me. The reason why I responded the way I responded, because it was my personal cell phone. And when you bother me with this bullshit, like personally, like I'm annoyed by it. Like, don't text me with shit like this. You can email me, you can DM me, but I don't give out my phone number to anybody. And
I'm sorry, man. My go-to is always going to be the text messages. I got to talk to anybody, and that I know, directly one-on-one. It's always going to be the text message. That's what I do with 2K. That's what I do with Deadful. That's what I do with Rev Fug Lee. That's what I do with most individuals. That should be the go-to. But I guess people who are chronically online, that's like, what the... Dude, just DM me, man. Go and DM me on this platform or that platform or this one or that one. What are you saying here? I don't know. Maybe it's my Asperger's. I don't know. It doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Why would you go and text me on my phone number?
The fact that he basically was holding his services over me by saying something I didn't do. I never attacked anyone. I never went after Haley.
You just said you compared her to the Nazis, dude.
I've never been on streams shitting on her. I never mentioned her. And I just basically said her quote sucked. And I stand by that. I stand by that. I thought her quote sucked. Like, it was dumb. She's basically admitting she's a follower. And I used the example of the Nazis. And from there, he took that as an attack, and then he made me, and he's simping for her, and he wants me
simping, really. Holy shit!
to cuck out and apologize, and I'm looking at this, I'm like, for what?
Do you not know what a cuck is? You like to use that word cuck rather often. Do you not know what it is? Darren, the big dork, he's a cuck, okay? Aaron Imholt is a cuck, okay? The guy that used to be on the Howard Stern show, what was his name? Brett Hatley. He's a cuck. Okay? By definition, that's what they are. Do you not know what a fucking cuck is?
What? I didn't say anything to her, and it's my opinion. So right there, I'm annoyed. And then he's like, oh.
Why do you have an almost 60-year-old man going and wearing a Public Enemy t-shirt? The fuck, man? Seriously?
I'm going to give you a chance if you apologize. First of all, I don't know what he thinks our relationship is. Like, he sent me a million messages, and I replied to some of them, but...
A million messages, really? Really?
I don't know him. I don't know what he looks like. I don't watch his shit. He did the intro for my thing.
We're gonna show something here in a minute. We're gonna show something here in a minute. Hold on.
I think it was Deadpool. I've been around. I've been off for a while. Put me in touch with him because he did some AI stuff and he put that intro together.
Yeah.
And it was his concept. I'll give it to him. I didn't.
Well, no, not necessarily my concept, sir, but okay.
So when everybody's like, "Why were you beating up Carl and the shark and all?" and I go, "I don't know. I didn't do it."
Because you told me to. That's why. The shark, no. The shark was all me, but.
So he did that for sure, and then he offered me to do his to be on his EV Mux because he said he bought it for a year, and I never took him up on it, and I thought about it, and then when I was talking about the special, he goes, "I could do your audio."
Okay, let's see here. Let's go and airdrop some stuff. You guys want me to airdrop some stuff? We're gonna airdrop some stuff. Okay, so we were talking about his comedy special here, and yes, I offered to go and do the audio to help him out with that because I know a lot about audio restoration and all that stuff. Done it for years with my radio show when I had a horrible mic. I was using the stuff from Blue and all that stuff, so I had to go and do a lot of stuff to get it broadcast worthy with those pre-recorded things. That was before I ended up getting like this mic and all that stuff. I've been doing this shit for 20 years. I started doing shows with a microphone that went into my iPod, for God's sake, back in 2006. But, so I was talking to him about DistroKid to get all of his stuff out there. He says, 100% I always use DistroKid. I made a lot of money from it. I'll be hitting you up for sure. Hey, is that EV Mux offer still there? Because I told him early on when he was talking about super tips, or not super tips, but, being able to help with certain production things. I said, well, you're probably going to need EV Mux. If you need access, I give access to quite a few individuals because you're able to make different sessions for individuals. And the only thing that I ask, and they're not able to access, other people's stuff, I'm able to, but nobody else is able to because I'm the owner of the account. But, they're able to go and have total control. And they don't. I don't like how streamers are taken advantage of a lot of the times because I remember during COVID, people were charging $100 an hour to produce, to just pull up comments. That's it. And I'm sitting over there going, I want to help people. That's essentially what I do. I help people. So I offered that to him then. We haven't talked about it or anything in probably about 2, maybe even 3 months. I don't know. I want to say 3 months, probably 3 months, because that's when I was a little bit in between jobs. And he says, is that EV Mux offer still there? I think I'm going over to Dabble Tips and I'm going to have to use EV or OBS. Okay? So this is something that he was indeed after for a while. Okay, so, and this is an offer that I make to a lot of people, and almost everybody has taken me up on it. Okay, we like to help a lot of people. So there's that.
I can do your editing, and I can do all this stuff. And I go, oh, cool, man, thanks. I never agreed to anything. I never said.
I'll be hitting you up for sure. Hey, is that EV Mux offer still there? Okay. Okay.
Or said, okay, you're hired. I never commissioned him. And then he would send me stuff about his band.
Okay, for sure.
And
Okay, my band. No, it's not my band. I'm good friends with the guys from Firehouse. I've known them for years. Ever since I used to be a DJ at a strip club. Years and years ago. And he was asking me to go and get some stuff done for him. And I said, well, I can't do it on this day because I'm going to go see Firehouse play. You know, some old friends of mine and all that stuff. That's, again, an element of truth and then really going and twisting it a great deal.
And all this bullshit. And I'm just like, yeah, we're not friends. I don't know who you are.
I don't know who you are. That's interesting. That's interesting. I'll tell you why that's interesting here in a minute.
And then after he sent me that text, I was just like, yeah, we're good. So I don't know who this guy is. And he's obviously clout chasing and he's simping for Haley.
Okay.
And right there he says, Kevin Brennan's a flash in the pan. I go, well, first of all, regardless of...
You want to know why I said that? You want to know why Kevin Brennan's a flash in the pan? And this is the reason why I hold true to that statement. Is because, again, guys, remember, my very first YouTube channel had 400,000 subscribers that was taken down because of copyright reasons in 2013. Okay? And then I had a channel with 9,000 subscribers that ended up getting porn bomb and all that stuff, and I've been relegated mainly to Rumble and also Black Label Media. You know what? I kind of like having the smaller audience, almost a virtually non-existent audience, a little bit more because I know my chatters, which is really cool. I love that. But when it comes to Brennan's actions, the things that it is that he does, he is going to do something that is irreversible to his reputation, or these things, you know, there could be something that ends up happening, gets detected in one of his videos. When the terms of service of YouTube and all that stuff update, they're going to be like, well, you know, things that Kevin Brennan was able to get away with before, there's going to end up being strikes for those things. And again, I am not an advocate of striking anybody. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that with the changes in YouTube that are constantly happening, this is something that he could lose it all. He talked about making $400,000 last year, which is severely impressive. Very impressive. Okay? Not knocking the guy, not saying that he's lying about that. I'm sure he is making damn good money from memberships and super chats and all that stuff. But the thing that you have to realize is that when it comes to media, that especially on things on platforms like YouTube, these things can be taken away at any moment. And it could be by some sort of detection that is within that of the terms of service of YouTube. I've had it happen to me, okay? I know about this shit, okay? And the thing is that early on I said, okay, well, I need to set up Rumble as a backup. I ended up giving the big Rumble channel to 2K for movies with 2K because he helped me out so much. And I said, you know what? I want to start fresh, start new. So we started the Riffs and Rants Rumble channel, you know? And so I went and I set all of that up. And the thing is that it is almost impossible to move your audience from YouTube to Rumble because Rumble is a major contender, but they have a lot of UI issues and all that stuff. And I also realized that right now Rumble in its infancy is ultimately going to end up becoming what YouTube was. During the breaks over here, we play music videos and all that stuff. We're able to do, you know, movie watch-alongs and all that stuff. And that's why it is that I said, you know, we need to get our own server. That's why we ended up getting our own server for Black Label Media. And we've been really totally uncensored over there. And we've been able to do that. I am constantly looking forward because I know how this shit works. Kevin is one of those guys that says, okay, it's YouTube or bust. He doesn't think ahead in terms of these things. He has the Rumble channel now, but I can guarantee you, the people, I think it's really gay to go and look at what people make. By the way, big goose egg over here, and that's fine with me. You know, I've never mentioned once my super tips or any of that stuff. I don't do that over here. That's not the reason why I do this. This is a hobby for me, nothing else. It's not a job or anything. Okay? That's all this is. I haven't even opened up my super tips panel for this show. That's how much I don't care about any of that stuff. But with people who go and see this as a career, see this as even maybe not a career, but a job, that is something that I would not be able to sleep at night. I would not, because I'm sitting over there going, after everything I've experienced, all this can be taken away so quickly. And so the thing is that with that and how trends change over time is the reason why Kevin is a flash in the pan. Because at some point, he's probably going to do something that causes his YouTube channel to get taken down, and he's going to be relegated over to Rumble or something like that, and probably make 25% what he did before, which is still incredibly impressive. Still incredibly impressive, but he is going to lose that influence he very much had. So this is the reason why I say that. Plus, the type of show that he does, it may be something that may not necessarily be popular a year down the line. I'm an individual who looks long-term at the things I'm doing, and that's why it is I also regulate what I do over here as a hobby. And that's the way it should be done. That's the way it should be done, I think. Okay?
If you like Kevin or not, he's been doing this for 40 years, comedy. He's been
doing comedy for 40 years. Has he necessarily been amazingly successful at it? He's been successful in many aspects. Absolutely. But when you look at somebody like a Dennis Miller or a Dana Carvey or somebody like that, is it that level of success? I mean, if you're going and accepting $100 a week to do a show just a couple of years ago on a premium network, it's one of those things. So let's put everything into objective analysis here.
He's had a podcast for over 10. And with all due respect to this Haley chick, I don't know who she is. Where did she come from? She just came in, you know, as a Melton fan and just start covering the stuff Melton covered. So I disagree with that.
Chad, did you have any sort of influence in comedy before you started doing this? Any sort of influence whatsoever? Where the fuck did you come from? Okay? Because the same thing could be said about you. Let's have some equal weights and measures here.
Completely. So he's not a flash in the pan. And I come from MLC. That's where I built a majority of my audience from. So it just made sense to
I understand why you got to give him props. I realize that. I realize why it is that you have to praise David Koresh. I understand this.
Didn't agree with him. And I wasn't going to apologize for something. And I didn't even use this guy really. I didn't even know who he is. So.
Didn't really use this guy really. Interesting. Yeah, let's see here. Is that the one I need? No, it's not. Hold on. Oh, wait a minute. It might be. Okay, yeah, this is the one. All right. Didn't really use the guy, really. Why is it all stretched out like that? Reset? I don't know. I'm going to make it super big, though. I don't know why it stretched it out like that. That is so wonky. Let me try airdropping it a second time. No, is that really going to make a difference? Let me pull it out and pull it back in here. Because the screenshot of my phone... Okay, there we go. Now it's showing. Okay, so any chance you could help me help with a ending to my show I could play every time. Never really used this guy. Yeah, give me a few weeks because I have to buy Super Grok again. I'll do it on my next paycheck. But what were you thinking? Nothing crazy at all. Just images with me promoting locals, websites. It doesn't have to be AI. I usually just use a still image and flash the website and stuff to music. Yeah, I can do that. I could have it done by Monday. That would be amazing. Can I send you the music that I want to add? Yes, sir. Where's your email again? I go and I put my email in there, avedbana@gmail.com. I didn't really use this guy at all. Okay.
Right now, Carl's out of his mind. And again, I'm not in a free chat today, guys. Just letting you know.
That is one of the things that always pisses me off. The free chat. Let me tell you something. If you're wanting to go and build an audience, and you're wanting to have people take time out of their day, and we as a society today are constantly go, 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 go. You have to respect your audience. You have to respect the chat. You need to thank them for taking time out of their day to come and watch you. There's this weird thing that is with all these content creators today, which is, well, they're of no use for me unless they send me a super chat. I'm telling you, whenever you're fully monetized, let me tell you something. I never pushed the super chats or the memberships or anything like that back when I had a monetized YouTube channel. But the thing is, I made a majority of my money off of ad revenue. A lot of these Guns N' Roses videos that I did, giving analysis and leaks and all that stuff, these things would get tens of thousands of views. There's videos that I made like $200 from ad revenue. So, and that's because of the audience. The audience just simply being there.
That nice couple are pieces of shit. That nice couple are pieces of shit. What nice couple? Oh, the one that came to my show?
Okay. There's another clip here I'm going to show you. Now, I want you to remember this. Remember this. He said, I don't know the guy. I don't even know what he looks like. All of that. And so, well, we're going to pull something up over here. Remember, he said, I don't know the guy. I don't know what he looks like. Holy shit, what's going on here? I think he's innocent on all the things that they're trying to try him on.
100%.
I think they're trying to go after him. But the thing is, in the scope of the people, it does harm you, whether or not you're innocent of these things or not. And when he announced that he was running again, Reese, Chad, you being honest there, buddy? You being honest there? Yeah. All right. Guys, we're going to go to a break. And when we come back, we're going to be talking a little bit of Perez Hilton. Okay? We're going to be talking about what's going on with him, giving a little bit of speculation. That's the best we're going to do. When we speculate, we let you guys know we're speculating. All right? We don't have any sort of inside information or anything like that. But when we come back, we're going to be going over that. And so we'll be right back in just a couple of minutes here.